How's it going, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the CFCTALK podcast. It feels good to be saying this again. Been a long time, actually, especially at this busy December period, and especially with a smile on the face. 3-0 against West Ham. Goals from Tammy Abraham, 2 goals from him, and Thiago Silva, the man of the match, of course, from that game. Tonight we're joined by another guest, Maria, joining us. If you don't remember, she was on one of our episodes, I think, a few months back. And we've got Alex, who's returned as well. He wanted to get in on those Mason Mount debates, so he said he'll join in for tonight. Maria, how are you doing?
Hi guys, thanks for having me. I'm very good. Yeah, I tried to be on time this time, but yeah, I had to rush back home. So yeah.
It's all good, Alex. Good to have you back.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I've missed it for the past couple of weeks, but Chelsea has been such a fun topic to talk about over the past couple of weeks. Also, I've missed out, but yeah, really happy to be back on in this busy period for us and for Chelsea as well. And what better way to be back on than with you guys?
The two derbies, in between the two derbies.
Indeed, yeah, it's going to be good.
Amart, how are you doing? Haven't spoken in a long time, actually. Amart, with you? 4 days, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's always good to come back here after. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always nice to just take a break from the world that we're living in right now, especially with everything going back into lockdown and all around the world and everything. That's that. 3-0 West Ham. Maria, your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I would say the game wasn't amazing, but like at the end of the day, we just lost 2 games before that, so it's a good response. And then 3 goals, a clean sheet. I think I won't complain, honestly. So yeah, good game.
Nothing about Mount.
Well, I'm gonna leave my propaganda for like later. I think I did too much on the timeline though, but I'll leave it for later.
Amart, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it wasn't really. I mean, we started the game very well. It wasn't really an impressive performance, but we got the job done. Like I think, like Maria said, especially after the 2 losses in a row, we really needed this win. So we got the job done, and we're happy. And I had a good day today as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the response when you lose two games and then you have to respond. So even if the game isn't perfect, I mean, as long as you win and you get those 3 points, a third loss would have been like dramatic, and a draw would have been like, I mean, we would have been finished according to some that I won't name, but yeah, shots fired.
4 minutes in and we've already thrown shade at people. That's the new record. Alex, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for a would-be Finnish club, we've not done so badly, have we? So, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I was very tense.
About Chelsea, Arsenal.
I was very scared, tense for a lot of the game, because even at 1-0 up, it's like, yeah, I did feel. I mean, we've had so many games this year where we've gone 1 up or 2 up, or actually no, I take that back. We don't really bottle, but it's like there's just a lot of nervousness when we go 1-0 up, and we don't really know how it's going to go. So when Tammy got the second, I think it was just good that definitely, swipe some sweat away, and it was. I think you knew from there it was going to be all right. But yeah, like I totally agree with what Maria and Amart have said. Like the result, I think it was really important that we got the result a bit more than the performance type thing. So yeah, really happy about that, and really, it's going to be fun to talk about.
100%. Great game, of course. 3 points, putting us 5th. Am I right? Yeah, 5th on the Premier League standing for Christmas, and only actually 6 points behind Liverpool.
2 behind United. No, the second. Leicester is second. Is Leicester second?
Yeah,
Leicester.
Yeah, I think so Leicester 2 points, 2 points ahead.
2 points ahead, and above the so-called title contenders that are Spurs. So, I mean, I won't complain.
No, it's
I
pretty
mean, we
funny
all
when
saw
like the
them as
Spurs.
title contenders. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like Spurs fans last week were like, shut up, Chelsea fans, you're in sixth. Stop complaining." And guess who's sixth now? Tottenham.
If I speak.
So, yeah, if I speak, yeah. So it's good to see that we've gone above them.
Okay, let's get into the depth of the review. First half, we started off really well, as Amart mentioned. I think he said, great start into it. But as soon as we scored that first goal, we kind of switched off and we kind of just went into that, Chelsea mode that we were in last season, where we looked like we would have probably conceded a few goals. Luckily, that Declan Rice goal was offside. Maria, what do you make of that? And then we kind of struggled to come back into the game until second half when Tammy Abraham scored those goals.
Honestly, it was like frustrating to see because, it's typical with Chelsea. Like, I feel like if we keep on watching Chelsea, we're gonna die at like 45 from a heart attack or something. Because every time you watch them, they they score a goal and then you just wait for so long because they stop focusing, and then you have to be on your nerves for like about like I don't know 30 minutes until the second goal comes, and then you're just so relieved. And the issue is I don't know. I felt like the midfield at some point, especially beginning of the second half, was like non-existent. So they would just come on the right, on the left, in the midfield, and they would just try to cross and try to come into the box. And I was so scared at times, and I was like, just wake up. We need more intensity. And I think that the last three games, and it's not just this game, but the last three games, we've lacked so much intensity. Like the players look tired, and proof is Chilwell got injured, and it's just the fixtures are one after the other, so you can't have intensity all the time because the players are tired. And we saw that before the Tammy brace. So yeah, and honestly, defensively, the midfield at times was shaky, but the defense was quite good, and the defenders, as usual, were quite good. So especially the two center backs and Mendy. So glad glad about that. It's I mean, I think we're all happy that to know that whenever the midfield is not doing well defensively, you at least have the center backs that can save us and the goalkeeper that can save us. So that's a good point.
Yeah, well said over there. I think defensive wise, Thiago Silva, he's an absolute unit in there. Amart, a lot of
Oh my god.
Premier League fans and football fans almost wrote off Thiago Silva, and now he's just produced another man of the match performance, putting his body on the line. What do you make of that, Amart?
I think we know we I think by now we expect we know what to expect from Thiago Silva. He's going to deliver. He's going to give us good performances. So I think yesterday I noticed on his wife's Insta stories that he had his in-laws around. Probably he scored a goal because he wanted to impress his in-laws or something. So probably that's why he was performing like that. But you know what to get from Thiago Silva,
I
and I
love that
think
analogy.
Lampard. I think Lampard also said something that he was even surprised because at 36 he couldn't play like how Thiago Silva was playing, but Thiago Silva keeps giving us performances week in week out, like 100% performances. And yeah, I think yesterday I'll say he was our best player on the pitch. Probably some people might say Tammy should get the man of the match because he scored two goals, but I feel like Thiago Silva and Zuma were a big part, the big reason why West Ham didn't have even one shot on target yesterday. So yeah, definitely a man of a match performance from him yesterday.
Yeah, great performance by Thiago Silva. Of course, Alex, defense again and again. We kind of struggled keeping clean sheets the past few games. Um, but now it seems like we're back in the rhythm. Even though I think there were a few opportunities where they scored or it was disallowed, and we were still letting a few gaps in the defense, and Mendy wasn't able to save all of them, but still a few. Do we see this? Do we see this as as like a progress, and do we see this us just building on from this, or do we go back to conceding goals?
I'm gonna like I think a couple of weeks ago, after we beat Sevilla, I got really ahead of myself and said some things I regret. So this time, I'm going to just say that, right. I think we do have to say that a couple of their the West Ham attackers especially should have done better. They were putting a lot into Sebastian Haller, and he essentially just didn't really do anything notable with it. So yeah, I'm not gonna go and say that we were like it was a amazing defensive performance, but we did. It's credit to the guys though. Zero shots. Was it 0 shots on target or 0 shots in total? Oh no, it must have been on target. 0 shots on target. Is really good stuff. And you got to say the number of blocks that I don't have a stat for you, but I can just tell. I think you all know as well the number of blocks that Thiago Silva putting his body on the line. In the words of Adebayo, I can find one word to describe this guy: pure class. Oh, he does. Never mind. Edit that out. But I'm sorry, but he did actually say that. So I'm sorry.
Amart's very smart when it comes to these things. Alex kind of rumbles on, and then it turns into a TikTok.
Oh man, but yeah, Thiago Silva. Both of them were great. Like it's quite ironic that West Ham, they're pretty much and their main strength is their corner kick ability, and we stopped them scoring any corner kicks, and secondly we scored one off a corner kick for us. So that's a really good improvement, and the fact that we are the top scorers in the league for corners is just frankly ridiculous, and it's complete.
Yeah, I think I read a tweet about that.
Like if you had told me about that last year, the next season with the addition of, to be fair, we have 2 new starters in defence, but it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that we're top scorers for corners, and it's a credit to Zuma and Silva, yeah, and Mendy to be fair as well for conceding.
Yeah.
Not conceding.
I don't want to go back to Southampton and West Brom and all of those games.
No, we're doing.
Yeah.
We actually stopped conceding a lot from corners, and we're actually scoring which is good. Because for once, we don't have someone that can actually. Yeah.
I think they said we conceding from corners so personally that now we make sure to concede at least score a goal in each game using corners.
Yeah. I mean, we stopped hitting the first man.
Yeah. Sorry, just quick point. Like the past couple of seasons, so essentially since John Terry left, we had a couple of years where we didn't really score that many from corners, and now it seems like we're kind of back at it.
I mean, you have players that can head the ball, like Zuma, like Thiago Silva, and you have players that can actually put those corners like right on a player's head. And hi, Mason Mount. Yeah, I'm starting the propaganda a bit slowly. We're gonna start slowly, and then I'm just gonna. No, but seriously, like whenever people tell me like, yeah, Mason Mount, he doesn't create from open place, it doesn't count. It's not easy to actually score from corners and get the corners right. I mean, anyone who says this just deserves to watch Willian trying to get those corners right on and over and over and over. Because like honestly, I'm so happy that we have someone that can score corners because they're very important to the game and they're not easy. If they weren't that important and didn't matter, then there wouldn't be corners. So yeah, it's still a chance to score. So yeah, it counts.
Yeah, I think that's a good transition to Mount propaganda. Alex, your thought on Mount's performance?
No, firstly, don't laugh. I know earlier in the season I was a bit of a doubter, but I think in past couple it's not even past couple of weeks. It's been for ages now that even the people who complain that he doesn't create in game that creates outside of corner kicks wasn't it last no, it was the win against Leeds where he created more.
7.
It was 7 chances created. Yeah, more than any Chelsea player in 5 years or something like that, I think. So I think that those things, he's definitely. I really like that he's kind of.
He's upped his game. More. Yeah, he's just upped his game.
Yeah. And yeah, it's testament to him. He's such a hard worker that it's really happy to see him. he's going to prove everyone wrong eventually, and he already has proved so many people wrong already. So yeah, no controversy to see here, Mohammed. I'm sorry. But
Okay, now we agree. That's good.
I
That's
would,
good. No, but
yeah,
honestly, this player is just amazing. Like honestly, for me, what I like about him, first of all, is that you watch, for example, the game against Everton when Kovacic came off. He looked super tired because you keep on playing a lot of games one after the other, and I feel like the only player that can do that is Mason Mount because he has the legs to do that, and he doesn't necessarily look tired. Okay, the last two games he wasn't good, but nobody was anyway, except maybe Reece James against Everton. But then again, like Mason Mount is just, first of all, he's got the legs, he's got the work rate, and he's also one of the reasons why we beat Leeds, because if you want to beat Leeds, you need to outplay them, and their best strengths is basically running, and adding a lot of intensity. So he adds that, which is very important, especially in the Premier League. So yeah, he knows his league, he knows his game. Of course, he needs to improve like a lot more in many aspects of his game, but he's doing it step by step, and he's had a massive improve from last season. So for me, as long as we're playing well with him, it's all good.
um, Amart, on the other hand, someone who plays next to Mount, Kai Havertz hasn't been having the best of performances. Didn't start the game. Joe, I think we went with a bit of a more defensive midfield, having Jorginho and Kante play instead of Kai Havertz. What do we make of that? Do we how would you rate his performance when he came on, and compared to maybe the last two that he's had?
I think his performance when he came on was way better than the game against Wolves. He wasn't really that good. I think with Everton he was a bit like he had some unfortunate passes, but it wasn't just him because I feel like the whole team against Everton they didn't really do well in terms of passes. So it just looked like Havertz was misplacing passes a lot, but because he was the main person who was supposed to be creating chances, and his passes weren't going through, so it looked like he had a bad game. But I think with the Wolves game, yeah, Wolves game was very bad for him, and I think this is what he wanted. This is what he needed. He had to rest a bit because recovering from COVID isn't really an easy thing, and he had it bad as well, so it's not really an easy thing. And I think I enjoyed his performance against West Ham when he came on. So I'm just hoping he can recover quickly and get back his form because he looks like the only creative midfielder that we have. He's the one supposed to be doing that. I'm not seeing much of that from Jorginho. I don't think Jorginho had a good game yesterday. I think he I don't know. He's not, I don't know what we get. To be honest, I don't really know. Under Sarri, we knew that Jorginho was in the register role, but under Lampard with his new style, I don't really know what we get from Jorginho because in the attacking in the attacking aspect, he doesn't really create much, and in the defensive aspect too, um, um, he gets run around a bit. So I don't know what we get from him, but I feel like we when we start Kai Havertz, and if it's in a good form, we can get more out of Havertz than Jorginho. I'm not saying I don't like Jorginho, but I just feel like he has some he needs to work on his game a bit. But yeah, I want to see Havertz more. I really hope Havertz starts against Arsenal. I don't know whether he'll give us a good game. I don't know. I feel like he will come good because that game is a big game, and if they understand how big that game is, they'll perform.
I think at this stage, if we even get our academy players to play, we might win against Arsenal. But I'm not going to get too ahead of myself on that one. Um, One comment that you made that kind of stuck out is he's the only creative midfielder that we've got. Um, is that a dig at Mason Mount? Is that I'm trying to get some controversy here.
wait, who said this, Mohammed?
I think I'm more.
Who? Who?
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying no.
I
No, I'm not. No. The thing is, he's a creative player. He's a creative player. Like he's playing that Ozil role. Like that's how Havertz is. He creates chances. That's what he does. But with Mason, I feel like we get more from Mason than with Havertz. With Mason, we get his defensive abilities, we get his work rate, we get his attacking prowess as well. But Mason isn't really the creative type. We've seen it. We've seen it in other games as well. He creates the chances when they're like when he sees passes that he needs to give, he gives them and probably gives crosses and all that. But I feel like finding pockets in defense is a Havertz thing. It's not a Mason thing. Like they all have their strengths, and I feel like Havertz's strength is creating chances. It's not a dig
I
at
think
Mount. I love.
Yeah,
what he's trying to say is basically that Mason is yeah, I could say more complete in the sense that he does some attacking work, some offensive work, some defensive work, and then you have Kai, which we actually who we actually bought for this, for to create more, because we knew that last season we struggled to create, and we bought him exactly for this reason, because his favorite position is supposedly a 10. So
Yeah.
so he, as you said, he's right. He's the one who's going to try to, him and Pulisic ideally are going to try, and Ziyech as well, going to try to, find the pockets between the defenders, find the spaces, exploit the spaces like that the defenders leave pretty well. And Mason is more like he's going to cover for the left back when, or Chilwell when he goes up front, and defend, and then at the same time he can create, but most importantly I think he's going to progress the ball, and he's going to be the more like the transition between the defense and the attack. That's the plan. Havertz as a more advanced 8 if we go on with that system, obviously, and Mount as potentially, but that's long term. That's long term. I'm not dropping Kovacic out now because I think he's absolutely important for now. As long as Kai is not doing well, Kovacic has been very important in our games, and that's one of the reasons why I don't understand why he doesn't start. He didn't start, like, I guess the last 2 games, which is quite sad though, because he doesn't deserve that. I think he deserves to start.
that makes sense. But in the way I look at it, I think Frank Lampard got it right in the first half, and then if you look at the second half, I kind of noticed we had 4 midfielders on, and we were kind of playing a 4-4-2. And if I remember, Amart, me and you discussed this with the other guest on the last podcast, and I kind of maybe go with the 4-4-2, play on the outside, maybe play Kai Havertz on the outside. So is Kovacic key in that area until we see Ziyech come back, we see Callum Hudson-Odoi come back? Because I don't think Callum Hudson-Odoi played against West Ham. Can't exactly remember. Yeah, he didn't play. So until those guys come back, do we just see us using that formation for the second half at least?
I just want to make a point on the 4-4-2 thing. I'm not that sure if it is actually a 4-4-2. The way I see it, I mean, it's just in playing Havertz as the right winger because, I mean, I think Lampard's talked about it in the past that Havertz has done it before. So I do think it's just a switch. When Pulisic came off, it was just a straight swap. And then when Kovacic came on, Kante shifted to the CDM. Well, I hate saying Kante CDM,
Yeah.
but that's what it is. That's what it is essentially. So it's Kante to the middle, and then Kante Mount Kovacic. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Lampard does that. I do want to see it though. Like, want to see Werner succeed, and if that's having 2 strikers, then I'm happy for it.
But before we switch to the, I mean, what you guys think was a 4-4-2, because I'm not sure if it was, but it looks like it at least. But like, um, Mateo Kovacic came on at the 66th minute. So, and then we scored those goals, and then Kai came on at the 83rd. So at some point, eventually, we were playing 4-3-3 because we still had Pulisic and Werner, and then we had like just Kovacic coming on for Jorginho, and we switched back from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3. So he gave us, in a way, Kovacic, I feel like he gives us more. First of all, maybe it's a good asset to have on the bench sometimes, because whenever the game's not going your way, or we're struggling to, you know, our midfield is struggling, it's good to have someone like Kovacic that can come on and, you know, change the game. But then at the same time, I feel like he deserves to start for all the performances that he's putting in, and he makes, in a way, he makes Conte look better because he relieves a lot of pressure from Conte, and then Conte being better makes Mount look better because he can go more forward, and it just gives balance to the midfield in a way. So yeah, first half was good and Jorginho was good, but then when we started struggling, I think that's a massive credit to Lampard because that's in-game management and it was on point and the subs were on point. So massive credit for him for doing the change very early because we looked fresh again, which is important.
Stick a few times, if I remember. Against the Wolves when his in-game management wasn't the best, switching around Pulisic and
Yeah,
Werner. Could we say he's redeemed
that
himself on this?
the thing is you can't know because there's like it's always like one game where he has like a perfect in-game management and then the next one he goes on and he puts on the subs late, and so there's so many times that he had a good in-game management and then so many times where he had a bad one. It's just so inconsistent sometimes. That's how I see it. But I think about the Pulisic Werner switch, I don't think it should happen. I think Pulisic needs to be on the left, but I'm actually not I'm seeing them interchange a lot, and I also saw players like I'm actually seeing that even sometimes Kovacic and Mount do interchange a bit, um, but especially the two wingers, I see them sometimes. It doesn't like he doesn't instruct like a player to. I think he just tells them to interchange a lot and, you know, play whenever they find space. So because I've been seeing it a lot. So at time Werner on the left and then Werner on the right and then Pulisic on the left and then Pulisic on the right. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it doesn't. This switching
Yeah,
around isn't something that we've mastered yet, or
yes, I
something
agree
that's
on you.
working well. We saw it against Wolves. Yeah, it didn't work too well against West Ham as well. I think we did some switching around. I think we should just stick to that. And then Werner up top, Alex, oof, another few chances missed. He's hit the bar or he's hit the woodwork 5 times this season in the Premier League, which is more than any other player. How do we feel about that?
Oh man, when he hit the crossbar at the end, I was like, man, there's just no way he's not allowed to score today. It's just not
He's
going to
the
happen.
keeper.
Not the cap. No. Oh no 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 no. We don't. We let's not go there. He's definitely he's getting in good positions. His pace is still obvious. He's still his attitude. We don't see any attitude problems. So there's no way we can call. There's I'm not worried about him still yet. It's just He's just having difficulty finishing chances. And yeah, there was the other one in the first half, I think, where Pulisic uh, put him through, and he just kind of did just kind of lunged at it with his left foot and tried to put it through the keeper's legs and failed. So yeah, there were annoying chances, but after he hit the crossbar, I think you just had to concede that it's just meant to be. It's just not gonna. He just wasn't gonna score. So yeah, I'm still not worried, and I know that and he still just keeps deserving to start because even if he doesn't score, his positioning, his pace is such a problem for the other team that yeah, you can't drop that.
I wanted to add something to the Werner debate. I think with Werner, I think even after the game, Alan Shearer said something about Werner, and I think that is what we need to look at because he's getting the chances. He's getting the chances, just that like they are not going his way. The shots are not going his way, and we know Werner can finish chances when he gets them. I think he's just in a bit of a goal, like a drought. He's in a bit of a rat or something. But and I checked last season. I remember he went on a I think either 5 games or 6 games goal drought with Leipzig. And he came back, and when he started scoring again, he started scoring hat tricks and braces and all that. So I think we just need to give him time. It happens to the best of them. Even Mbappe went on a goal drought this season. So I think it's something that can happen. I don't think we need to start comparing him to. I've seen some some comments on Twitter saying that he's the next Morata and all that. I'm saying, nah. This guy is not the next Morata. This guy is way better than Morata. He has more. He has more potential. We've seen the things that he can do. We've seen the goals that he can score. So when he starts banging them in, it's we just have to be ready for many goals.
Yeah, I think I'll agree on Amart with this one. He came in. He had quite a lot of contributions to our goals. I think he's got 4 goals in the Premier League, 4 assists, something like that. And then overall, he's almost getting a contribution every other game at the moment. And yes, he's off form. And with Chelsea, it's always the case of, for some reason, our strikers, I think, haven't always been the best choices. Morata. Let me throw Torres in the mix. Let me throw who else? Oh, I can't think
Higuain.
of Higuain. Yeah, I
I mean,
sometimes see pictures of Higuain in Chelsea shirt. And I'm like, I don't remember him even signing. I feel like this is still photoshopped.
Pato, Falcao.
like
He
I
scored
think
like
every
two. He scored like 2 goals against Hull, and then he disappeared, and then goodbye. Yeah, I don't.
I
And then
think
Batshuayi, you have
every
Batshuayi as well.
it seems like every Chelsea striker, even Tammy, they all have every striker has ruts where they get into, and like yeah, I don't think we should. I don't think it's getting way too ahead of ourselves to if when people are saying he's a flop and all this stuff when he's still got 4 goals, 4 assists this season. He's still getting into the right positions. He gets one, it'll be all, but it should all be yeah. And what better way to kind of get out of it than against Arsenal? So yeah,
I think he just needs 1 goal, and then I think
yeah.
it's gonna boost his confidence, and then probably he'll go back to scoring. But he's just missing that goal. He's not scoring that goal that he needs to actually up his confidence. But as
I'm calling a penalty against Arsenal. He scores.
I hope
He's
so.
back and forth.
I think the thing is, look, I'm not that worried about Werner, honestly, because I think he's gonna be fine. But for now, he's not playing, first of all, in his position. But what I don't like is that the people who, for example, like Giroud despise Tammy, and people who despise like Tammy despise Giroud, and
Yeah.
then there's a Werner lot, and then it's so confusing because I'm like, I mean, our three forwards are scoring. The three strikers are scoring. So for me, even if Werner is not that much now, that he's not scoring that much now, it's what you want. It's what you want from your striker. So as long as they're scoring, why are we complaining? Giroud scored goals when we needed him, and now Tammy's scoring goals when we need him. So for me, honestly, I'm happy. You have 3 strikers, which is great. So if you have any injury, you can be fine with that. You have 3 strikers that are scoring goals, so it's perfect. And they all have good stats, whether it's in the Premier League or for Chelsea overall.
Yeah, completely on that one. Other than that, I think great to see Pulisic back, and everyone's just very excited to see him play. And of course, every time he goes down, it scares me. Frank Lampard needs to order him to step into the gym for some time. Let's make him the
That's
next.
I
true.
think I think I think
Let's get him.
I don't know whether, but I think whenever a player goes down, I'm worried. Any Chelsea player at all, anytime they go down, I'm just worried. I'm just thinking, is this going to be for 1 week? Is it going to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I don't know.
I think
When I
with me, it's more towards Pulisic. Sorry for the interruption. Um, I, I feel worried about any Chelsea player, but then I think it's the extra edge for Pulisic because he's been out for so long and he's injury prone. So kind of want to put him in a bubble wrap and just tell him to play there. Just give him some extra protection.
when Thiago Silva came, like he felt like I think he cleared the ball, and then he just fell on the floor. I was panicking. I was like, if we lost our right back, our left back, and then one of our center backs, I'm gonna start crying because that's not possible. And every time you have players that just fall on the pitch, you just get scared and you just please, 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 don't be injured because you need them a lot, and it shows that I don't. I think that's an interesting debate. Do you guys think that we do have squad depths,
Yeah,
like a
I
Squad.
think
proper
we
like?
do. I think
Do you think we have a proper good bench?
yeah, we do. But I think in certain positions we lack. We lack in certain, especially in the wingers. We lack in that position.
Yeah, in certain position, I agree. In the sense that, for
Yeah,
example, if Chilwell gets injured, not necessarily for like 2 games, but like for 2 months, would you trust Emerson on that left side for like 2 months?
I would trust him for 1 month if I'm honest, because I think to be fair, he's only really come up against teams that aren't that
Yeah, he
good,
did.
so
Now that's
it's
good,
hard to
but
judge.
yeah. Or if, for
But
example,
to
I
be
don't know.
fair,
I mean,
if
I think
Kante is injured, then I wouldn't want to for 2 months, which is where the CDM. I guess maybe
see,
if Gilmore's in,
yeah,
then that's right.
but
But yeah,
then again, Gilmore is like not really a CDM. He's more of an eight, but then he just fills in whenever we need him. So I don't know if he could be up to the task for like a month or two, especially given his inexperience in the game. But like, I feel like it's you have a lot of players which can help, but I feel like in some areas we lack so much quality in on the bench, and I feel like there's a few players that I think like we need to buy in backup players, uh, especially a fourth winger for me because at least on loan or something for the rest of the season in case our three wingers like get injured. And then I feel like the eights and the three strikers are fine, but then maybe a backup center back or something. Because I had this debate with everyone, so I thought that would be a good debate to bring up because if we have squad depths or not.
I think the response I would have on that is, yeah, I'd completely agree with both you and Amart on this one. We've got the depth, but then in some positions we're still lacking. I think a
Quality,
few
yeah.
weeks back when we heard about Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi both get injured at the same time, a lot of Chelsea fans kind of just speculated like, yeah, we're going to get a winger sometime in January. Um, but I think Chelsea fans have they're steering the other way, and they're aiming for the summer transfer market rather than this one. So I think with Chelsea, we've been unlucky to have injuries since the start. I think
Yeah.
dating all the way back to September, we had Ziyech injured, Ben Chilwell was injured. We've always, because we've had injuries from the start, the players that we had to use got overused. They got injured. These guys have to be overworked. So everyone's just overworked at the moment. But what I'm thinking of is getting into January when we've only got, I think, 6 games in the span of 4 weeks, so on and on for the next few months. It should go back to normal rather than having this busy December period of almost having, I think, 8 games or 9 games this month. So hopefully we should be fine for the rest of the season in terms of injuries, but you never know.
Yeah, we have like 4 tough games coming. We have like Arsenal and then Villa and then City and then Leicester. So it's going to be a tough few weeks. I think
Quite a
2 weeks.
break between City and Fulham, that is, and then we've got Leicester. So
Yeah. Oh,
we've
there's
got
Fulham
more time
first.
back playing
Oh, I'm not sure,
big team kind of in that one. Maybe
but
keep
yeah,
us back.
yeah. I mean, if he comes back, honestly, I'll just back him up as much as I can. But let's be honest, I hope for his sake that he goes to another club, whether it's on loan for a bit or like um if we were able to sell him, but I doubt the club would be able to sell him right away. But like for his sake, and so he gets more game time and more confidence, um, I think he should go because Mendy, I don't think he's now. Maybe he might. We might need him for a few games, yes, but I feel like he's not going to get confidence here. And even when he played against, Krasnodar, I didn't watch much of the game, but I watched a bit. And the issue with him is that he doesn't command his box, and then you have defenders like Rudiger, okay, or Christensen, who look good when they have Mendy behind them, but then when they have Kepa behind them, it becomes it becomes a mess in the box, and that's sad to see, because if he did command his box, maybe we'd see a better performance defensively, which is something that we don't really see, and you see with Mendy, and yeah.
I think I'll have to interrupt this and say this is an open offer to Arsenal after Runnerson making that error in the Carabao Cup. You can have Kepa on loan. Please take him.
It's crazy they actually played him as their third choice. It's crazy. I can't believe they did it against Man City. They played the second choice, but I guess
Yeah.
to be
Can he
fair,
play on Saturday? Or is he going to turn prime Casillas or Buffon against us? Classic.
I doubt that. I feel like we're about to set a record for most goals scored in a Premier League match.
Oh no, Mohammad, you've said it. Now that you've said it, we're losing.
I think when I go into this game confident, I usually just sit back and I just wait for Alex and Amart to make their comments on each game. But I think moving on to the Arsenal debate, I would say this is a confident Chelsea win. If not, by any means, if not, I will not be happy. Like, I think
I think
we've got to win it.
the problem is that these Arsenal players, it's every year they always, and it's the same with Chelsea. I expect the Chelsea players to do the same, but they always raise their level whenever they play us, and it's especially at the Emirates. So, but to be fair, we did beat them at the Emirates last year, so but thanks to a late Tammy goal. So, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be a 6-0 drubbing that we had like
Yeah.
6 years ago. Yeah. I definitely don't think it's going to be a close-ish game. I think because they'll raise their levels. Arsenal know how bad their situation is, and I think they know love no better team other than Tottenham, of course, to get back to winning ways. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be on the cautious side, but as long as the right players are if Chilwell's out, that's a bit of a shame, especially defensively. And then with the rest of the team, I'm confident in them getting the job done. But yeah, I don't think it's definitely not going to be easy. But
I usually don't. We usually don't do predictions on the podcast, but I'll be open with mine. 4-0 Chelsea. I'm calling it right now.
You're really confident.
I don't even think we'll do 4-0. I think they'll score. I don't know why I feel like they're going to score. Just some annoying goal.
Let's just score one and Havertz join in.
Yeah. The thing with Arsenal is that it's if you see on the paper and like you see their form, you say like, yeah, it's an easy win. But then again, you think about it, and they're always going to show up for this kind of games. And then again, you need to just hope that our players show up. And if our players show up, then yeah, it's over. It has to be a win for us. It has to be. If we lose to Arsenal, it's crazy because they haven't won in so many games, and honestly, like, we're actually known to actually give points to the team that are struggling, just like we did with Everton and just like we did with Wolves. So I'm just scared that we do the same with Arsenal, and I'm not ready for that, honestly.
I think Christmas time is over. We've given away 6 points this month. Let's not give away any more. And by the time Arsenal comes, yeah, it'll be Boxing Day. So yeah, lot to look forward to. If it's all right with everyone, let's head into the lineups and then we can discuss the game.
sure. One last thing though is that Arsenal are 15th, 16th, so they're in the lower half of the table, which means it's an automatic win. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think we should disregard all my previous analysis, and because they're 15th, it means we can just treat them as any other team.
All right, guys. That's
All right.
review.
Yeah, right. Can we skip the goalkeeper? Or
No, I think there's some fair competition. If Arsenal are going to bring out runners, and we could try out Kepa.
Kepperson? No,
Let's
no.
concede more goals.
Ah.
No, Mendy, right? Anyone got any problems with that?
Oh, no. I don't have you. I've one little side note. Have you guys seen the free kick that Renison did concede?
That's what I meant when I said
Yeah,
Kepa
I
holds.
because I'd heard that he had done badly, but I hadn't actually seen it. And oh,
It's bad.
okay,
The way
never mind. Yeah, it's bad.
Wait,
The
which
free
one?
kick is. So they shot a free kick and it went straight at his hands, and he just let it straight through it.
Who?
Oh, I
Oh,
missed
that's bad.
this.
Runnison tonight against Man
Wow.
City. They shot a free kick right at him, right at his hands, and yeah. Okay, never mind. Back to goalkeeper. Yes, Mendy, absolutely Mendy.
Okay, Mendy in goal. Who have we got in the right back position? Aspi has to be.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
I think he's the only one now, so he's the only one playing there.
In before we see Alonso start there.
Yeah. No, I don't. Alonso is not. I mean, it's funny because before the game, my friends and I said it's funny because Alonso isn't even making the bench with 9 subs, and then Chilwell got injured, and I was like, we shouldn't have spoken, man. We shouldn't have spoken, and probably he's gonna make the bench now, so that's good for him at least.
Yeah,
But I
but
think
to be honest, I don't think like
that.
I wouldn't be worried.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Mohammed. Why are you saying something? I can't hear you clearly, so I don't know I don't know when
Go
you're
ahead.
talking or not. Yeah, what I'm saying is that to be honest, I will not mind seeing Alonso start or be on the bench. I wouldn't mind at all because he tends,
Yeah, personally, me neither.
yeah, he turns up against these rival teams. Like anytime he's playing a derby against Arsenal or Tottenham, he has his best game. So probably him starting wouldn't be a bad thing. But I think Lampard is definitely going to go with Emerson.
I think Emerson is more suited for the back four. Personally, that's how I see it. If we would play a back three, then maybe go for Alonso. But then again, I don't mind seeing Emerson or Alonso start for a few games, but as long as not like 2 months, because we have a lot of games in 2 months, and I don't think consistency is their best attributes. Although Emerson's been good lately, so if he keeps up that form, then I'm gonna be very pleased with him, honestly, because he's been fine. But yeah, that's like I'm happy that Chilwell isn't out for long. But we definitely, if we're not, if we don't like, if Lampard is not playing some left backs, and it's not like some backup left backs and rotating a lot, it means that he doesn't trust the two of them, like Alonso and Emerson, as much, and that's very worrying. And it should tell you that we need to buy another left back if he doesn't trust them. Because we can't keep on playing Choa all the time, or he's going to get injured like he did yesterday. He got injured yesterday, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So fullbacks would be Aspi and Emerson, and I think centre backs know that one as well. Zuma and Thiago Silva for everyone.
Oh, and
Yeah,
and credits for Aspi for coming, like, for being very good yesterday, because he's the captain of the club, and he's like a backup, and even when he's a backup, he comes on and he just replaces Reece James so well, and I'm very pleased with him being our captain and him being at our club. So yeah, credits for, since we were talking about performances from yesterday, he deserves a shout.
It's always weird seeing someone like Aspi on the bench. Someone
Yeah,
he's. It's weird to even hear about Aspi being on the bench because he's never really had any significant injuries. Um, he's always been the trusted, person to lead the lineup, and I think it's just the factor of age and the Reece James being playing so well. Um,
yeah.
I think there comes a time, and it happened with John Terry, it happened with Gary Cahill. Slowly, you just get moved into the bench, and then eventually you have to leave the club if you want to continue playing, or you just join the management, or depending on what you want to do. But yeah, tricky phase for Aspie, but yeah, he did come in and he fit so well against West Ham. No one even noticed. It almost, fluent football.
One interesting point on the right backs is that so in that game we didn't have Reece James on the bench, and we didn't actually have any right back. We don't have a backup right back to Aspie. So I guess if Aspie did have come off with an injury or something, then Zuma would go to right back because on the bench in terms of defenders there was Emerson, Christensen, and Rudiger. With so yeah, it'd be interesting to see if, or obviously we hope not, but since we don't really have any backup at right back, we don't have the backup to Asby, but so you yeah, because I think Zuma in his early Chelsea days played at right back, or played a little bit at right back for Chelsea, so maybe he would, or yeah, really not sure what we'd do there.
Yeah. Moving on, midfield. Uh, Maria, you want to pick the one?
Yeah, mine has to be, Kase. I said it yesterday on my timeline. Kante, Kovacic, and Mount. We need to progress the ball very quickly, and we need to defend as well, and that's our most balanced midfield. So, especially that their midfield isn't always the best, especially when they have Shaka on it. Can Shaka play, or how many games did he get banned for when he got that red card?
That's an interesting question.
So,
I'll have a look at that right now.
I think honestly, if we can beat them, if we can just dominate in the midfield, we're just gonna they're just not gonna be able to do anything. So for me, it's very important that we get our best midfield out, and for me, that's our best midfield. And then yeah, that's my thought on it.
Yeah, I think it was only the usual ban that you get for a red card. Nothing.
Yeah, I'll go the same with Maria's. It's, at this point, we have to play our. I think I'm glad that Kovacic got rested today. I think I saw a comment made by Frank after the game saying that he I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it alluded to essentially giving Kovacic a bit of rest. And yeah, so maybe that's why. At least I'd like to imagine that's why he didn't start against West Ham.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, it's got to be our best midfield. It's got to be our best 11 that we can possibly field with injuries and all that. So it has to be Kante, Mount, Kovacic. They're our most informed. All three, yeah, they're just our best, most informed midfielders right now. So we have to play them all.
Yeah, 100%. Amart, your midfield three.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the same thing, probably the same thing. Kante, Kovacic, and Mount. Because I really wish, like, if Havertz was in a pretty good form, I really wish he could play against Arsenal, but I don't think we are going to get that. You're going to see him start. I think he would have enough rest. I think both him and Werner will have enough rest before we play Arsenal. But I think Kovacic would be better suited for that game. So yeah, I'm also going to go with Kante, Havertz, Kante, Mount, and Kovacic.
Yeah, I think I agree with you guys on that one. Same midfield. No changes in that one. Um, front three. I'll go first on that one. Pulisic, Werner, and Tammy. Alex, who are you going for?
Man, he's playing one on the spot straight away.
Haven't had anything so far.
Ah, has to be Tammy, of course. Has to be Pulisic. Oh yeah, it has to be Werner because we don't. I forgot that Cho is out. Ziyech is out. Well, I'm not sure. No, Cho
Yeah,
was on
he's
the
in. He's
bench,
in.
so against West Ham,
Yeah,
I
he's
think.
in.
Yeah, so there is a chance, but no, I don't see that Lampard going for it. Even
Yeah.
though, yeah,
I think
see
It,
Werner, Tammy, and
I think before Tammy scored the two goals, I was always thinking that I had a thought that Callum should start the next game, and it was Werner in the middle and then Pulisic on the left. But then Tommy goes and scores a brace, so he can't be dropped. He definitely can't be dropped. So I think that is what we'll go with. We'll go with the Werner, Pulisic, Tommy combination up top.
Yeah, I can see. I see. I'd say the same, and I can see Callum coming on eventually. Look, if Callum came on against West Ham and and was good for like a bit, then I would have been okay with that. But like with him starting, but I think he won't start because Lampard won't rush him, and he didn't play against like West Ham. So for me, yeah, he's gonna come on eventually, and then we're going to play Werner and then Pulisic and then probably Tammy up front because they leave a lot of space. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that covers up the lineups. So quite a lot of different. No, not a lot of difference actually. Same midfield for everyone, same attacking, same defense. So this is probably the first time on the podcast that we've had the same team from all three hosts plus the guest. Um, but yeah, so again, should it be a walk through Maria, or is it going to be one of those nights where all Chelsea fans will be biting their nails for 90 minutes until we get a
I
win
think
or a draw?
I think it's going to be the second option. I don't think Arsenal are going to give us an easy win. I don't know. I feel like they're going to show up and yeah. The thing is, I judging on their like performances, you would want to say that we're gonna win easily, but then you think about it and you're like, man, it's Arsenal. Like it's a derby, it's a big game. Maybe they won't show up, but maybe they will, and you can't know. And judging how we always give points to those who are in need, yeah. So I hope we won't be sitting like having several heart attacks like during the game, but and it's going to be an easy one. But I very much doubt that. Yeah.
I think with the heart attacks, it's Chelsea. Chelsea will give us heart attacks even if they are leading by 4 or 5 goals to nil, we'll still get a heart attacks. But I don't know. I think with the Arsenal game, I don't want to be overconfident. I'm 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 really envying Mohammed right now. I can't be overconfident like that because I think that our last 3 games that we played, I pinned West Ham as the most difficult one, and I was like, okay, we'll beat Everton and then Wolves, but we go out and we lose against Everton and Wolves, and then we beat West Ham. So I really don't know what to do, what to do of this Chelsea team, but I really hope we go there and go and win. We have to win. It's a must win. We can't lose to a relegation side, so we just have to win.
Yeah, Alex, your opinions on that?
Yeah, it is a huge game still. We lose and we'll probably go down the table a bit, but the table, yeah, regardless of table position, it's a huge game. We, yeah, we want to pile more misery on them. They could, you never know. If Fulham, Burnley win their games this weekend, I'm not sure who they play, but if they do, then we can really set Arsenal on the path to relegation.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I just have to crack up. It's I have never been able to say that before, and yeah, I can't believe it. It's absolutely ludicrous that Arsenal, 14 games in, are on the cusp of or are like in the relegation battle
Yeah.
essentially.
I mean,
So
It's
yeah, yeah, we want. Although I do feel sad.
I think it's
Yeah,
karma. It's karma a bit. It serves them right because they've always been saying that they are the only English team that hasn't been relegated before. So I think there's always a first. So this is their first.
But one question I would ask is, as Chelsea fans and looking at it from outside, um, and probably having kind of a biased opinion on this because we're Chelsea fans. But are we really going to see Arsenal relegate, or is it going to be change of management by January? Because I think they've said they're going to back Arteta until the end of January market. Let's say by the end of January we see no change. Are we really going to? Are they really going to sit there and let Arsenal sink into championship, or change won't be happening?
Nah, I'm not. I don't.
No, I think it'd be fine personally.
Yeah, yeah, same. I don't see Arsenal getting relegated. I don't know. I really think as Ateta is a good coach. He started very well with Arsenal. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what the problem is. Probably Ozil is the answer for them, and Ozil is on the bench tweeting. So he's at home tweeting. So I don't really know, but I don't see them. I don't see them getting relegated. If it comes, if it gets worse, if it gets worse, I think they'll sack Ateta and bring somebody in. Some Allardyce has been taken, so I don't know who else they can get to save them. So I don't know. I don't know. But I'm. It will be funny. It will definitely be funny seeing them um out of the league relegated. But I don't see that happening at all.
Uh, the thing is, I personally like in terms of wanting them to. I would say that it would be fun to see them, get relegated. But at the same time, like, who would you banter if they get relegated? Like, it's cool to have them, and have those derbies that we play against them all the time. So I would not necessarily want them to be relegated, but finish like 17th or like 16th. That would be fun, which could probably happen. Yeah,
Yeah, I think they deserve what they're getting. Talked about
definitely.
Arteta Ball, talked about Willian being better than Ziyech. I mean, I think Ziyech's been injured for the past few weeks, and he still probably has the same amount of shots as Willian on target, um, and goals. But yeah, overall, I think karma at its best. Hopefully, we do
calling
win. Hopefully, the Twitter
calling Lampard a PE
fans
teacher.
all stay exactly. A PE teacher,
Yeah.
but a qualified one. That's the difference. Um, yeah, I think that covers up the preview. Anything else you guys want to add in?
No, I think. Yeah, I
I'll
think
take
that's
that as a
it.
no.
Probably, yeah. Probably that's good.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for listening to the episode. That's the 34 podcasts in, and I still stay watching. But yeah. Thank you, Maria, for joining us. Not a lot of Mount
Thank you,
propaganda
guys.
tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Look, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it quiet for now because he's playing. I think everyone
Let
acknowledges that he's
silence.
playing well. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun to see how Mount performs against Arsenal.
Hopefully you will.
Um,
Yeah.
that,
Hopefully he scores. Hopefully he scores.
yeah, that's all for
Thanks,
tonight's
guys, for having
episode,
me. Yeah.
guys. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like rating, add it to your playlist. It does really mean a lot. The team's been working really hard. I did want to give a shout out to everyone on the team. We've been on a roll this month. We've done almost 7 episodes in the span of 4 weeks, which is not easy, guys. With all the content that we put out. So thank you to the team. Thank you for everyone for your support. Make sure to join our Discord with more than 2,000 Chelsea fans on there and discuss match days, normal Chelsea chats, gaming chats, anything you like. Just join the server, pick a role, and get on and have a chat with any of us if you want. And we'll see you next time.